Alright, today on Mustang we are going to work on getting some of this rust off. We're going to put some rust conversion material on there so that we can get rid of all this rust before we go back and start putting the new quarter panel and the wheelhouse on. Also going to make another cut that's closer than that for when we align our quarter panel. To do that, we're going to go ahead and take this off. To get that started, you just kind of use a screwdriver or something, kind of push that edge up, and then you can carefully peel this up. Try not to bend it. Okay, I'm going to store it in here. That's the only place we have to store anything right now. Put it in here. Now we can make our final cut. Okay, what we're going to have Jordan and Jacob do is they're going to go over all this area the best they can with the grinder disc with the cordless drill and 50 grit grinding disc, and then we'll use a 3M scuff it pad that fits on that, and then last we'll go over it just by hand to get all the rust we can possible off, and then we're going to apply some stuff for the rust on there. So we'll go ahead and get started on that.
Now we're going to use a 50 grit and sand on the rust.
Alright, we finished using the 50 grit disc, but we don't want to remove too much of the metal and thin the metal, so we removed some of it using the 50 grit, but we're going to switch to this, it's a scuff pad that fits on this, and we're going to use that to continue grinding this metal, trying to get as much of this rust off as we can.
With this wire brush, now we're going to try to get any loose rust off. Now we're going to finish it off with a scuff pad.
Now we took every step we can, without sandblasting. That would be ideal for something like this, but with what we had, we used a 50 grit to take what we could off without taking too much metal. Then we had a scuff pad that fits on that little pad for the drill. We wire brushed it and used a scuff pad to try to take all that we can off. Next we're going to spray some stuff on there that's supposed to help prevent that and convert the rust. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and do another rough cut. It's not going to be the final cut. I'm just going to cut it straight down here, right at the bottom of this, because the new quarter panel is going to fit under it. Then I'll see how that fits to see where, we decide to make our final cut. But I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of that off. This is about where the other one comes. That's not an exact measurement. That was just kind of an outline when we set it up there. So now what we're going to do is use this grinder to make that cut. Made our final cut, and up here where they join the seams, they used to use a lot of lead. So we're going to melt that lead out. An oxyacetylene torch would probably work better, but I don't have one here. See, when it gets hot enough, it'll start melting. I went to cut this and discovered there was lead in this. I originally thought that the factory seam would be a little bit higher, and I thought this aftermarket replacement part that we got just came down here, but this is where the factory seam is at. So what we did is we heated that up, because that lead, it'll melt out when you heat it up, and we went ahead and melted all the lead out. You don't want to grind lead, you know, because of the toxins, and you know, it's not good for you. So that's why we melted it out. And once we melted it out, you can see the way this Mustang was put together from the factories. It's got some spot welds right there. So all we're going to have to do is drill those spot welds out, and the new quarter panel will fit right under that. So that worked out pretty good for us.
Now we're just going to go ahead and drill these spot welds out.
Okay, we got the lead off, and Jacob drilled all these out, and now what we're going to do is use a seam buster to go ahead and separate that. We want to be careful because we don't want the roof panels on top of this, and we don't want to damage that. I mean, we're going to get it a little bit crooked taking it apart, but you want minimal damage. Okay, find a little tack weld there, one there. What we're going to do is get the grinder and we'll grind those off, and then we'll separate those.
Now we're going to wipe down the metal with alcohol to get it really clean.
Okay, we've got this rust cleaned up as good as we can. You can see there's still some rust on it. We wasn't able to get it all off. But what we're going to do, we're going to use some rust treatment, and what it does is destroy the remaining rust. The bigger pieces, you know, have been ground or wire brush, and this is supposed to turn the remaining rust black. So what we're going to do, we're going to spray it on here, a couple of coats. We've got some cardboard back here to keep it from going in here, and we'll just spray all of our flanges, all of our metals, and you know, to help protect it. Okay, we got the rust treatment sprayed on. It said to apply a couple coats, you know, within 2 minutes of each other. We did that. It starts turning the rust black, and you know, so you know it's doing its job. Almost to get there, it seems like there's, you know, with rust repair, there's always one more thing, and there's, you know, this car, it's got another problem we're going to have to fix before we get to the wheel well. And it's this piece down here is rust out at bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a template for this. We'll cut it right here, weld the new one on, put that on, and then we'll be ready to put the new wheel well on. But we'll get there. That's it for this video.